right, welcome. You are watching the show right here on Shaw TV, episode number 66. So we're calling it the Mario Lemieux edition, I suppose. All right, really stoked to kick off. Todd likes that one. Kicking off 2014, our musical guest right behind me, Mike Bausch, who's born and raised in Saskatoon, but now living in Nanaimo. He's actually done a lot of traveling and adventure seeking in between. So we're gonna have a lot of great questions for him. We're gonna talk to him and get some more stories about his adventures later on this hour. Also on today's show, if you're like me, you're probably recovering from the physical assault that's also known as Christmas dinner. So we're going to have Anna here. She's invited personal trainer Rachel Chan to join us with some ideas on how to crush those calories. And sticking with recreation, Brian is going to find out more about the 2014 BC Summer Games, hosted by Dryden, Ontario, which, unless you know what geography, isn't all that funny. No, of course, it's being hosted right here in Nanaimo, and Brian will start his training for the BC Synchro Swim team after he speaks with the 2014 BC Summer Games president, Jeff Lott. We also like a lot of music here on the show, so Joni's here to talk to Kathleen Darby of the Nanaimo Conservatory of Music and find out more about the programs offered there. Also on the education side of things, Anna is going to speak with Gabriel Bishop from the VIU chapter of the World University Service of Canada. And this is an organization that helps support student refugees come over to Canada and study, helps them socially and financially as well. A really great service for both the university and the student. We're also devoting nearly 10 minutes of the show to Haggis. So we get some fans of that. So we actually have our Haggis specialist, Eric McLean, in to entertain us and show us more about it. I know Brian's going to be doing this segment. I know he didn't want to do it, but we couldn't let him get off scot-free. But first, of course, no more better jokes for 2014. We are going to kick off the show, though, with a segment on community issues, including poverty and feeding the community. I'm not sure if Haggis is going to have a segment or part of this as well, but we're about to find out. So stay tuned. Welcome to 2014. You're watching the show right here on Shaw TV.
Happy New Year to everyone. Happy 2014. I'm here with Gord Fuller, who a lot of people might know from his various community efforts. And we're going to be talking today about the 710 Club, something that you're involved with on a pretty much day-to-day basis. Tell me a little bit about what you're doing at the 710 Club to help feed the poor.
Well, the 710 Club's been around for about 27 years now, 28 years, and what they offer is a hot breakfast and a bag lunch. It's a community meal program for those in need in the downtown area. And
and we've just come through Christmas, and that's when everybody's got their focus on making sure that everybody's fed. And yet sometimes after Christmas there's a little bit of a fall off, and people kind of tend to forget, get back to their lives and doing their thing. So how does that affect you at the 710 Club?
Well, it's true. People do tend to forget. This year was great because we had some word from some community members that wanted to do something, and they were looking at doing it around Christmas, and I made the suggestion maybe New Year's would be good. So they came down and offered a kind of dinner. It was between lunch and dinner to the community. Had about over 100 people showed up to it. Bit different fare than they're used to, but from all accounts it was well received, and it looks like they're going to continue to do it on a monthly basis.
So that was just a group that stepped forward and said, we're really interested in what you're doing here, and we'd like to also be part of the picture. You've got people that were cooking, you've got people that were serving. Yep. So you're looking for people, I suppose, to be able to help in that way. Well,
we're always looking for volunteers at the 710 Club. I mean, the 710 Club itself is Monday through Friday, 7 till 10.
7 till 10.
Yeah. And so we're trying to get other groups to take on some of the Saturdays, and we've got 3 so far. Rotary North does 1 Saturday a month. A group of John Howard and Together We Can does another, and there's a couple of churches do the 3rd one. And now if this community group comes on, we'll have 4 Saturdays covered. And I focused on the Saturdays because there's a wonderful lady out there that does a spaghetti dinner down at the German clubs for free to anybody, Christine, and she does that on Sunday. So Saturday was the only day where people could not get something for free.
That's interesting. I was going to ask you about that, but yeah, on Eagles Wings does that on the Sunday. So you basically have covered off the whole week, and you're located fairly centrally. You're on Prideaux.
Yeah, we're immediately across Fitzwilliam from the RCMP station, right behind the fire hall. So if anything happens, we're covered.
You're covered
Oh, yeah.
from all sides.
Yeah.
And so you've got, and actually the bus depot's right there as well.
Yeah.
So if people are needing transportation, they can hop on a bus, get there, get home. But you're serving all sorts of different people, all sorts of community members, and because we have a wide variety of people that are in need at this point.
Yeah, we do serve a wide variety of types of people: students, seniors, low-income wage earners, people on income assistance, and the homeless. The homeless is actually the smallest group of people that we do serve.
That's interesting. And you don't think about students all the time either, and especially as their student loans kind of dwindle. And yeah. So we're actually coming to the end of the segment. We're going to have on the screen, we're going to be having the information for people to be able to get in touch with you. And now they'll be able to stop you on the street and ask about the program too, because you're always out with your dog going for a walk, and pretty well known. I think you were in the paper, what did you say, how many times in 2008? Every week?
In 2008, well, I've run for city council 4 times and will be running again in November. In 2008, I think I was in the paper every week.
Well, there you go. So now they can get in touch with you. They can look at what's on the screen. We're going to go and talk about something that's completely the opposite. We're going to be talking about those who might have overindulged at Christmas with Anna.
Thank you. Of course, Christmas time, we just had Christmas, not only Christmas, but we also had New Year's. And one thing that goes with New Year's is New Year's resolutions. And one resolution that a lot of people have is to get rid of that excess weight that they put on at Christmas time. And today my guest is Rachel Chan, and she's a personal trainer for VI Fitness. Welcome, Rachel.
Thank you.
It's good to have you on the show.
It's good to be here.
Thank you. And Rachel's going to show me a few tricks, but one thing that I'd like to know is, if we come to work out, I guess you could say, what happens? Like, let's say somebody who's never worked out at all, what are they to expect?
Okay. Normally, I would put people through a bit of an assessment, kind of see where they're coming from, get their history in terms of what kind of exercise they've done in the past, or whether they haven't done anything, whether they have any injuries, medical conditions, limitations to exercise. Absolutely. And that's where a lot of my training has gone to work with older populations, to work with people with a whole gamut of injuries or medical concerns. So make sure that we get their complete history and see where they're starting. And so that's more of a sit down. We do a little bit of strength testing, flexibility testing, body composition, weights. See where exactly you're starting from, because we want to be able to measure that later on.
Of course.
And see whether you've actually made improvements, and if they're the right kind of improvements. You're losing fat, gaining muscle, not losing muscle.
And you keep track of that.
Exactly, exactly.
That's good.
And then if somebody does become my client, I will put them through a little bit more of an assessment, just looking at body awareness. Some people really don't know where their body is. I love training dancers, gymnasts, figure skaters, because they know exactly where they are. Some people, just when they're beginners, brand new, really don't know. You ask them to do a squat, and
Right, and they don't know what a squat is.
Exactly. So then I know where to start with them. Maybe they don't start with a squat. Maybe they start with something a little simpler. Maybe if they're very comfortable in a gym and have been around for a long time, we start at a different level.
Right.
So it's really an idea of where they're starting, where to take it.
It makes a difference, right?
Yeah, and exactly what they're looking for.
So, and I have done a little workout, but so you can bring it on.
Okay, good.
So show me some moves.
All right. So
what would we do to work out?
The best exercises are those that incorporate a number of different muscles, a number of different movements, combining to give you a whole body workout.
Okay.
So you don't need to spend hours in the gym. You're not logging miles on the treadmill, getting nowhere.
That gets kind of boring too.
Exactly,
right?
exactly. So really what's most effective is working really hard and then going. 20, 30 minutes of all-out effort. Intense effort, yes, absolutely. And that's going to give you a calorie burn even after you're finished.
Ooh, really?
So it
keeps
revs
on
your
working.
metabolism for hours afterwards, and that's
Even
really
better.
the key. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Even better. Okay, I love it.
So full body movements, lots of muscles involved, especially the muscles of the legs.
Yes.
Burn tons of calories, because if you think about how much blood flow you need to power those big muscles, it takes a lot of calories.
Probably a lot.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right. So, you know what we're going to start with? Everybody's favorite. You know what everybody loves
Warm
to
up.
do? Well, yes. Jumpy jacks.
Really?
Burpees.
What are burpees?
You've never done a burpee?
No, never done a burpee. Or maybe I have and I don't realize it.
Everybody loves to hate burpees.
Okay. Okay.
They're full
me love
body
it.
exercise. They can be modified in a number of ways.
And is it really a jumping jack?
No.
Oh, okay.
You could do one in between if you wanted. No, it looks like this. I'll show you.
Okay.
Okay, I don't want to trip over anything.
Nope. Oh, I have done those.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and do you start with hands up or no? Just
You
down?
don't have to. Yep.
Like
Yep.
that?
And then
jump up. Oh, I forgot to
Yeah,
jump.
you have to jump.
Jump up?
Yes. Yeah. And then you keep going with that.
That's a burpee.
That's a burpee.
I like the burpees.
So some people throw a push-up at the bottom of it and challenge
Oops.
that way. So
I
you
think I
can,
lost my mic on that burpee.
you can jump in different ways, different variations. I like to give people dead man burpees.
Excellent.
You want to see what a dead man burpee
Dead
looks
man
like?
burpee. We're going to come back, and when we come back, you will show me the dead man
Okay.
burpee.
All right.
Now, we're going to go over to Brian on our main set.
Okay.
Thanks, Anna. And I'm with me today, I have Jeff Lott, who is the president of the Nanaimo 2014 BC Summer Games. And I know there's been some people who are aware of it. Certainly those in the organizing groups know about it, but there's a rumbling going through the community, and I'm looking across at the different partners. Everyone from the city to the school district are supporting you on this. This isn't really you, it's we as a community collectively. When is this happening in July?
July 17th through to the 20th, Brian.
Okay.
And the athletes will begin to arrive on the 16th, actually, and then the main group of them should be here on the 17th. So.
Now this is, as I understand it, developmental athletes that are on their way up to move towards provincial and national team status.
Yeah, absolutely. International competition as well, but most of the athletes, and we're expecting about 3,000. And with 1,000 coaches and officials accompanying the group. So, and most of the athletes will be between 12 and 18 years old. So the average age is 14 and a half. And you're quite right, is that it's for athletic development, and it'll prepare them for other inter-provincial competitions, national competitions, and then the international competitions.
Now,
Yeah.
you said there's some 3,000 athletes. There's
Yes.
obviously coaches, parents,
Absolutely.
administrators, officials.
Yeah.
This is going to bring a lot of people into this community in July.
Well, it is. Total, we're estimating about 4,000 folks that are actually directly connected to the competitions. And then with them, there'll be family traveling over to the island from different parts of the province, friends, no doubt, as well. So we're expecting quite an influx of folks here.
Now, to pull this all off, it takes more than just the staff of the BC Games office, which is in Victoria.
Yes.
There's, I guess, one or two staff here in town, but you've got quite a network of people who are volunteering to run this event.
Absolutely, and we're looking for more volunteers, and thanks for mentioning that. So at the present time, we have our board set up, so that's 14 directors. Cover off the areas that are required to plan the games. We have a president, which is myself, and a vice president, which is Bruce Hunter, who's the athletic director from Vancouver Island University. And then assisting the 14 directors are 125 chair positions, of which you are one of those chairs.
Yes, it's a daunting task, I know that.
Yeah. And then on top of that,
Yeah.
We're going to need about another 3,100 volunteers just to provide a good service to everybody that's coming to down and carry off these games.
What's some of those jobs that those volunteers can fill for you?
Well, there's many different aspects, right from, I mean, we have to accommodate the athletes, officials, and coaches here. School district's is a major partner with that because we'll be accommodating them in the schools. So in the schools, we'll need dorm captains and dorm hosts, and there'll be security, you know, just to ensure it's a safe environment. We'll need drivers. We'll have vehicles that'll transport the athletes, obviously, to the competitions. We'll be using buses for that, but there'll be VIPs to move around, other officials to move from one venue to another. We have to feed all the athletes and coaches and officials as well. So we'll have a couple of kitchens set up. Our main kitchen for breakfast and supper for the athletes is going to be at Bevan. So we have a food services directorate that will take care of that. So there's 14 different major directorates to provide the service.
And a whole plethora of like 25 odd sports. So I think we're going to get back to this before we're out in terms of getting up to July. I'm going to have you back again and we'll talk more about the exact sports and those venues. But it's a great chance for people to be aware that you are in need of volunteers. They can contact you at the website, which is bcgames.org, and I think that's on the screen. There's a procedure for registering, and you always need, I know you don't turn away volunteers.
We don't, no.
Thank you very much, Jeff. That's wonderful.
Thank you, Brian.
I'm going to send it over back to Anna, who's working out. I think she's in the midst of that.
And I can't wait to find out what a dead man burpee is. So
right,
what is that?
You're going to do it.
I am, sure.
Okay, so instead of ending up in your high plank position, you're going to come right down to the floor.
What do you
Arms
mean
out to the side.
Okay, so I jump up, down.
Go right down. Okay, now right down to the floor, arms out.
What do you mean, like that?
Yep. Now come back up.
And then
and jump.
Dead man burpee.
Yeah, there's your dead man burpee. Okay,
excellent.
You know
what else can we do?
We're going to do a kettlebell swing.
Oh, okay.
Never done these before. Okay, so you're going to sink right back into your heels. Throw your hips forward. Okay, so it's not an arm movement because I got 18
pounds
here.
And it's the hips, right? It's all about the hips.
All in the hips.
That's
so you're going to squat that down, throw it forward. You got to stand up though.
Oh, stand up.
Yep, squat back and stand up. Good, yep.
And how, that high? Excellent.
You want to get some speed going, you know, and that's going to get your, it's all about momentum.
It is
You're
about
not lifting
momentum.
with your arms, you're just letting your hips power that movement.
That's actually a nice move. I like that a lot.
Yeah, so you really get going with that with a decent amount of weight.
And that's 18 pounds. Hey, that's not too bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can handle that.
Yeah, exactly.
What else can we do?
All right, something called the plank jack. Okay.
Okay.
So you're going to come down into a high plank position. Okay.
High plank.
Yep. So feet out nice and straight.
Is this what you mean by plank?
No, arms straight. Arms straight.
What do you mean? Like
yep,
that?
Just like that.
Okay.
And you're going to jump your feet out and in.
Like this?
Out.
What do you mean? Out.
Right.
Out like that.
And then come back
out and in. Out and in.
That's a plank jack. It's like a jumping jack on your hand.
That's not very attractive, I bet, either.
All right. And then what we're going to do is we're going to grab some dumbbells here.
Okay.
And we're going to do
these are 10
a
pounds
squat.
each?
Yes, these are 10 pounds.
Ooh.
Squat with an overhead shoulder press.
Okay.
Okay. Another combination movement.
Squat.
So you're going to have your arms up.
Okay.
Okay.
Here we go.
Squat back. Good. Back into your heels.
And
press it up. Yeah.
Woo! Okay, I can do it. Yes.
Yes.
So with
There you
these
go.
movements, all the battle of the Christmas bulge will be gone. Is that right?
So you can just spend 30 seconds doing each exercise, rest for 10 seconds in between, and you know, pick 5 or 6.
With these, you can do so much, though.
Absolutely.
Right? Just even holding them.
Yeah.
I like that. What
Another
else can you
one
show
that
me?
we can do is a dead row. So you're combining a straight leg deadlift with a row. So you're going to hinge forward, row, and stand back up.
I might be challenged with that one.
Yeah, so hinge forward.
Hinge forward. And you keep your legs
up
straight.
to your chest, a little bit of a bend in your knees. Yeah.
And then like
come
that.
back down and stand up.
And then stand up.
Yeah.
Excellent. Oh, well, I know I feel better. And you will too if you check out, what's the website?
VIfitness.ca.
Excellent.
Yep.
Thank you, Rachel.
You're
I appreciate it. Work out, and now we're going to go to our musician, Mike Roche, and Bosch, pardon me, and he is going to be singing Dry Tide.
reason for fogging up my mind, washing in like a dry tide. Forgotten dreams, they all went away from me, washed up on the shore today. Yeah, you're walking away from your life, closing doors you won't return. You turn your back on me, closing off your mind. You won't look back, you stay on track, but the train has been derailed. It's been derailed. A pure black canvas is your masterpiece, painted with your dreams of old. A cracked foundation, what you base it on, but can it stand alone? Yeah, but can you stand alone? Walking away from your life, closing doors you won't return. You turn your back on me, closing off your mind. You won't look back, you stay on track, but the train has been derailed. Your train has been derailed. Yeah, well, you're walking away from your life, closing doors you won't return. You turn your back on me. Yeah, yeah, well, you're closing off your mind. You won't look back, stay on track, but the train has been derailed. Your train has been derailed.
That was great. Thanks, Mike. Really appreciate that. And I'm back with another musical guest in a certain way. We have Kathleen with us, Kathleen Darby, who is the Executive Director of the Nanaimo Conservatory of Music. And you have some musical folks coming up. You're going to be having some recitals. And a very special person is Jane Coop, who's going to be doing a recital. Tell me what day that's going to be this month.
That's going to be on the 16th of February, Sunday, the 16th of February at 2:30 p.m. at the Port Theatre. And yeah.
So tell me a little bit about Jane, because she is internationally known.
Yeah, Jane is a well-respected, internationally recognized pianist who has been known as a very high-level Chopin interpreter. And she's doing a marvelous sort of list of pieces, including some by Beethoven and Rachmaninoff and Scarlatti. Yes, not Liszt this time, actually. Yeah, yeah. And so it's going to be a very, very wonderful program. And she's sort of local, you know. She's from Vancouver. Okay. So yeah, we're very fortunate to have her.
And tell me what this is going to help with in terms of you're raising money for bursaries and all sorts of things. Tell me a little bit about that.
For sure. Well, the Nanaimo Conservatory is a not-for-profit charitable organization, and we offer music lessons to students of all ages. And so one of the things that we do is we raise funds for bursaries and scholarships for our students. And so part of the proceeds from the funds that we raise at this concert will go to support our bursaries and scholarship programs, as well as the group programs that we offer at the conservatory.
Right, so you're fundraising and you're using music to raise money for other up-and-coming musicians.
That's right.
And you also have other programs for kids. I mean, you have a wide variety of programs, I know, but you have an up-and-coming program the spring break, which we're thinking of ahead of time, I guess, but it's kind of unique in the sense that the kids are going to be able to be there all day. It's going to actually be a full day program.
Yeah, we have Joelle Rabu teaching our musical theater program again at spring break this year, and so parents who are working are going to be able to drop their kids off at 8:30 in the morning and pick them up at 5, and so they'll have care and they'll get musical theater, and
totally
it'll be a great day. Yeah, a great week.
That's great. Immersion, total immersion. And and at the end of the week they're going to actually have a production
that's right.
People are going to be able to
and
see.
last year when we did it, we had our final production at the Nanaimo Center stage, and I think we'll probably be doing that again.
Nice. And you do have recitals coming up. You said there might be one on the 25th?
The 25th of January, our student recitals, but generally our biggest recital is in June.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have things going on all the time.
All
but
the
the main
time.
thing is that you want to get people out to see Jane Coop.
Yeah.
And if they want more information, people can look at the screen and find out more about how to contact you, and to go to your website and find out more there.
Yes.
That's great. Well, thank you so much, Kathleen, for being
Thanks,
with me
Joni.
today. And I'm sure we'll see you again soon.
Okay, great.
Now we're going to go back over to Matt, and he's going to be recapping and telling us about what's coming up.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Joni, and thank you so much, Kathleen, as well, for appearing here on the show. Definitely want to give a big shout out to the Nanaimo Conservatory of Music. I'm a bit of a music education advocate myself, you could say, and it's just great the number of programs they have there, the teachers, and again, there's so many links that have been scientifically shown that link music education to improved academic performance in other areas, especially mathematics. So definitely get on down there, learn an instrument, and again, it's such a great music legacy here in Nanaimo with the other schools, the secondary schools, the VIU jazz program, and of course all the great performers that come on down here to Nanaimo. So again, great thanks to the Nanaimo Conservatory, and again, get on down there, learn some music, learn an instrument. Maybe there's some senseless sax and violins for you to get involved with as well. All right, so we're about halfway through the show here on Shaw TV, mercifully so. And so far, we've learned about some community issues with the always well-spoken Gord Fuller. We've also Anna's exercised away most of the calories from that excessive eggnog consumption she had going on. And we also learned more, of course, about the BC Summer Games coming here to Nanaimo in 2014. Later on in the show, we're going to meet our musical guest, Mike Bausch, learn about some of his travels and hear more music from him as well. And we're also going to meet, from the sounds of it, a big pile of haggis. Yes, we got our haggis expert in here, so find out about the great Robbie Burns food later on this hour. But first, let's see, they're looking all good over there. Oh yeah, Anna's got a big smile on. Anna's going to introduce us to a very cool group up at Vancouver Island University, and this group helps bring some international students to Nanaimo. And you might think, well, this is great for the students, but it's also great for Nanaimo and the campus community as well. So for that story, let's throw it over to Anna. Anna, over to you.
Thank you, Matt. I appreciate that. And I'd like to welcome Gabrielle Bishop, and she's the communications chair for WUSC at VIU. Can you tell us what WUSC means?
Sure. So WUSC stands for World University Service of Canada. We're a nationwide organization, and our local committee up at VIU helps sponsor 8 different students every year through the Student Refugee Program, which is WUSC's most kind of interesting initiative.
That's a lot of students.
It is, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. So they're mainly from South Sudan and Somalia. WUSC is an international development organization. We're headquartered in Ottawa, so we are a Canadian organization.
Which is great.
Yeah, it's great. So it's kind of rare that you get to see the impacts of international development in your own community, but the Student Refugee Program kind of helps us do that. So.
Would it ever?
Yeah.
And it must be quite an adjustment for those students to come over to Canada.
Yeah, it totally is. So basically our role as students on the local committee at VIU is to not only fundraise so that these students can come here and study at VIU, but it's also to kind of help them adjust socially, culturally.
It would
Absolutely.
be a huge social change, especially coming from those kind of countries, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So most of them have grown up in refugee camps in Kenya.
Yeah.
So simple tasks like taking the bus or going grocery shopping is just a whole
new world.
Yeah, it totally is. So that's basically kind of one of the things that we do as students on the local committee is help provide that social support. And
that's a great social support
Yeah.
for them. And now financially, where would some of this, how how do we pay for these students?
Well, basically every student at VIU is currently contributing to the student refugee program.
Right, okay.
So out of student fees, 19 cents per month comes out of those, and it helps support the student refugee program on campus.
That's amazing. If I were a student, I'd want to contribute.
Yeah, so it's actually the lowest amount in Canada, 19 cents a month. We're campaigning to raise it to 38 cents a month.
Right.
But our other sources of funding also include international education at VIU, the student union. We also have some really fantastic community donors that have helped us out. And we also hold fundraisers both on and off campus.
What kind of fundraisers? Do you have anything coming up in the near future?
Yes, we do. So our fundraisers range from anything from a bake sale in the cafeteria to basically our annual gala dinner fundraiser.
No, the bake sale, I'm just going to go back. Is it the chefs that are at VIU that are they the ones that do all the cooking?
In that case, it would be us, the volunteers. We do have a professional chef for our gala dinner, which is good. But anyway, so that dinner is actually coming up on April 26th. So it's the last Saturday in April. Yeah, it's very soon. We're still finalizing the venue and all those details. But basically, it's going to be a gala dinner. The name is Harambe. So basically, it's a Swahili word that means all pulled together.
That's beautiful, actually.
So kind of
because the community does need to pull together to make all of this happen. Actually, not only the community, it's the whole country.
Yeah,
because it encompasses Canada, correct?
For sure.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of people who come out to that event, elected officials, young professionals. So it's a great networking event too.
Right.
And it's a lot of fun. So
I bet it is.
Yeah.
I bet it is. Now, if people are looking for more information, where can they find some more information about this?
The best place to go would be www.WUSC, so that's WUSC, VIU.wordpress.com.
Okay.
We're also on Facebook, so it would be facebook.com /VIU WUSC.
At WUSC, okay.
Yeah, so.
WUSC, I like that. World University Service of Canada.
Yeah.
It's a mouthful, but it's a great mouthful. Yeah. That's excellent. Now, is there anything else that I may have forgotten to ask you?
No, I think that pretty much covers it. Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's
excellent.
Great.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us on our show. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
And now we are going to go back to Mike and to Matt. Mike and Matt.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Anna and Gabrielle, for the interview there. And again, a big shout out to the WUSC group. There's an amazing international education component up at VIU, and the fact that the WUSC student-run group contributes to that is really an amazing thing. And also, Gabrielle mentioned the Harambe event, the gala fundraiser they put on every year. I've had a chance to play music at that twice over the years. Very, very cool event. Amazing food, amazing music, amazing spirit. So definitely recommend you check that out as well. All right, and speaking of VIU and traveling, we're just going to lead right into our musical guest.
Right in.
Exactly. Mike Bausch, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. So, again, I want to get to some of the travels, stuff you've done, but first off, you are born and raised in Saskatoon.
You got it.
So, tell us a bit about the music scene there and what brought you here to Vancouver Island.
Well, Saskatoon's music scene it's great. It's a great place. Anyone who's been there, or hasn't been there, I definitely recommend you go down there and check it out, especially during the summertime. Because there's always a lot going on during the summertime, but as soon as you get to the wintertime and the fall and things start cooling down like it normally does, there's not much else to do but to play music. And that's where you get all these people kind of cocooning and hanging out at home and jamming in their basements, and the city just lights up, but from the inside out, which is really kind of cool.
Absolutely. Well, a lot of folks know about Wide Mouth Mason, of course, one of the big city exports. Who else would you recommend as artists from Saskatoon?
Well, Joni Mitchell. Here's the big one. The Sheepdogs, which have kind of exploded right now. I used to play, not with them, but our bands used to play together at different points in time. There's also a great band out of Edmonton, but has some Saskatoon members called Wool on Wolves. There's Close Talker, which is a really good one coming up as well. So quite a few
very cool
bands.
stuff. Were you one of those guys that would put the melon on your head at Rough Riders games?
I've never been to a Rough Riders game. I've never been to a Rough Riders
Scandal.
game. I know.
Exactly.
But I was cheering them on to win the Grey Cup this year. So.
Perfect, exactly. Well done. All right, so now, again, what brings you out to Nanaimo?
Well, I originally was studying adventure tourism and business management, and I decided I wanted to continue my degree, and that's what brought me out to Nanaimo. I used to come out here surfing and enjoying the natural areas, and that's a lot kind of where my music and songs came from.
It is harder to surf on the wheat fields.
Yeah,
can't really get a good go. Yeah.
So it's a little bit different. But we used to make the journey out here, and I knew I wanted to come out here and spend a little bit more time, and finishing my degree and studying tourism was the perfect opportunity for that.
So it's cool. So you've got a tourism degree, so obviously you look at different areas. Just a real quick comment about about some of the travels you had and how that's all sort of impacted your music, which is next we'll get to.
Yeah, well, definitely. Actually, the first song I played, Dry Tide, was a song that I wrote, and it kind of came to me. I was completely sick when I was in South Africa. I was sweating. I was just, it wasn't comfortable. But all I could really do to kind of help ease that was to play music. And that was one of the songs that came out of me. And it has the ties to the dry tide, right? And that's my tie to the ocean, but also the dry tide of the prairies, right? And when you look out into the prairies and you see the wheat, and it kind of looks like an ocean itself. So.
Yeah, nice. I know Andrew Roberts gave me a copy of your CD, so I'll just throw it here. Anton, that's a copy of this. Oh no, wait, that's Andrew's Boney M album.
Yeah, sorry, that's the wrong one there. Yeah.
So what's the actual album there?
There it is. This is it.
You just hold it up to Anton there. Hold it up
bring it
so
over
you can
this
take
way.
a look there.
There you go.
Just hold it up there for a moment.
Yeah. So that is The Field and the Sea by Mike and Ali. So it's myself, Mike Bosch, and the other performer is Allison James Loth, and or she's being known now as Allison Ray, and she just recorded and released a new album as well. So. Yeah, we recorded that.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, it's great. It's got 12 tracks on it, featuring a mix between both of us, and it's available on iTunes and CD Baby. I just recently sold out of tunes. This is my second last one right now.
Nice.
So it's available online if you're interested right now.
Sweet. All right. So I'm just gonna look. Santa, are we almost ready to move on, or? All right. So in that case, tell us where you're playing next, so people can see you.
All right. I am playing at Fibber McGee's on Saturday, this Saturday, at 8:30. So that'll be the next time for you to see me. I also host the open mic night at the student pub, so I'm there Thursday nights as well.
Perfect. Awesome. All right. Well, let's move on then. You're playing all around, including Downtown. That is the next one we're going to play. What's the story about the song Downtown?
This one's actually just about being outside in the pouring rain, which we get a lot here on the island. But walking around downtown and just seeing the shimmering lights. And
beautiful. All right. Let's take a listen.
All right.
Mike Bosch, musical guest here on the show, right here on Shaw TV.
Yeah.
Drove downtown in the pouring rain just to check out the late night. Never seemed to be so tame, so tame. Well, I traded my tomorrows for a few yesterdays. Today, well, everything is changing. Just leave me the same, the same. Well, I'm over you now, but it felt so right tonight. Well, I'm over you now, but it felt so right tonight. Well, woke up this morning in the pouring rain just to check out the late night. Never seemed to be so tame, so tame. Well, I traded my tomorrows for a few yesterdays. Today, well, everything is changing. Just leave me the same, the same. Well, I'm over you now, but it felt so right tonight. Well, I'm over you now, but it felt so right tonight. Well, town in the pouring rain.
And that was Mike Bosch, direct from Saskatoon, and he's enjoying the island lifestyle. Part of the island lifestyle is the great multicultural mix we have in this city, and I have with me today Eric McLean from McLean's Specialty Foods. We're going to talk about January 25th. It's a pretty significant day for all Scotsmen. Robbie Burns Day.
Yeah.
And one of the things that goes hand in hand with Robbie Burns Day is haggis. And we have some right in front of us. What is this?
Well, this is Scotland's national dish, and it's basically organ meat, heart, liver, no kidneys, mixed with oatmeal and heavily seasoned.
Wonderful. Now, there's various ways to serve it. There's probably one way to certainly make it, and what's the way you would recommend people prepare?
Well, normally we just take the whole haggis and you can bake it or boil it, but we prefer to bake it, wrap it in tin foil and bake it, and we give out instructions on how to do it. We serve it with mashed potatoes, mashed tatties, and champit neeps or mashed turnips, rutabagas, and some gravy, you know, and that makes a real tasty meal. And of course, lashings of Scotch whisky.
Scotch whiskey. Now, you've brought a little book about haggis, and maybe we can talk to people about how it's served and different ways that it's served, and more elegantly than just certainly on a platter.
Yeah, we get kind of stuck with the idea of haggis being done in the sheep's stomach, which is really just a way to let the ingredients expand. And so we're kind of, that puts people off. They think they've got to eat the sheep's stomach, which of course you don't, unless you've had too much whiskey. But even then you don't. But I brought along a book showing how some of the top chefs in Scotland present haggis. You know, with the haggis, the potatoes, and the turnips. And this is the old course in St Andrews, the famous golf course.
Home of the British Open.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So haggis is in Scotland, and in the UK it's become quite trendy actually, and you can do it in a whole bunch of different ways. You know, I've had it in a drambuie sauce. I've even had haggis pakora in an Indian restaurant, which is great.
So right around the world, haggis is served.
There's a whole bunch of them, yeah.
Okay, now, one of the things we want to do is, you've got Robbie Burns himself had a renowned poem about haggis.
Yes.
It's called The
Address to the Haggis. And it was very tongue-in-cheek, but basically what he was saying was the haggis was the haggis was the great chieftain of the pudding race. And there's a whole address, and there's about 8 verses long, and I can do one of the verses, and then I'll give you the translation, because it's in an old, it's not even English, it's Old Scots. And basically, you would have the haggis cooked, ready to be stabbed, and you would address it by saying, "Fair fa your honest sonsy face, great chieftain of the pudding race. Aboon them all ye take your place, paints, tripe and therm. Will are ye worthy o' a grace as lang as my arm." Now, most people don't understand what the heck that means. Freudian slip there. But the translation is, "Fair is your honest, happy face, the great chieftain of the pudding race. Yes. Above them all, you take your place, stomach, tripe or guts, and you're well worthy of a grace as long as my arm." And it goes on about the groaning trencher. There you fill your hurdies like a distant hill. Your hurdies is buttocks, you know. It's really, so it's a wee bit tongue-in-cheek and a wee bit vulgar too, but that's okay. So it goes on and extols the virtue of haggis and how it made Scotland great.
Well, we're going to prepare some haggis to serve later. So what do you have here?
I have in the fridge here, I have it how we present it, not unlike this, with some gravy.
Okay.
And I also have a haggis tower which we make, which is a single serve. Again, in a similar kind of way with haggis, neeps and tatties.
Well, we're going to come right back, but first let's head back over to Matt with some news about another great multicultural event in Nanaimo.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Brian. Thanks, Eric, as well. Wow, that haggis is really shiny. I don't know if you can see that on TV. Anyhow, we're going to be back, see how that haggis is hanging here in a few minutes, but just as it is the first show of 2014, thought we'd say a couple words about the concept of the new year. Now, maybe you know, maybe you don't, but January 1st on the Gregorian calendar, which is sort of like, you know, the Western or the Christian calendar that's used through most of the world, that's not recognized as the first day of the year for many other cultures on the planet. For instance, if my crack research on a website called Wikipedia is to be believed. The Iranian New Year, relative to the Gregorian calendar, is in March. There are a number of Asian cultures who recognize the New Year in mid-April. And the Islamic New Year actually follows sort of a different year length than the Gregorian calendar. So relative to those of us who follow the Gregorian calendar, it falls on a different day every year. And so one that's actually pretty visible around these parts is actually the Chinese New Year, which tends to fall sort of in between late January and early February, again, on the Gregorian calendar. And there's usually quite a few events down here in the Pacific Northwest, including a couple in Nanaimo, and actually sort of relating to what we're seeing on the Haggis table over there. There's actually one that combines Robbie Burns Day and the Chinese New Year. Really, really cool stuff. Unfortunately, it sort of already happened once this show is being broadcast, but check it out next year. But there is one that's happening up at Vancouver Island University on Saturday, February the 1st, and that's put on by the Nanaimo Chinese Community Association as well as the VIU Chinese Students and Scholars Association. So they have a gala going up at the Vancouver Island University Theatre, and they're pairing music and dance performances, a lot of the music being performed by traditional Chinese instruments as well as other showcases and displays of Chinese culture. So a very, very cool opportunity to go and again check out some more stuff about Chinese culture. They're ringing in the year 4711, which kind of makes 2014 a little bit meek in comparison, and it is also the year of the horse. So check it out, the Chinese New Year celebration up at the VIU Theatre. That's happening on Saturday, February the 1st from 6 to 8 p.m. and tickets for that you can get at the door as well. So make sure to check that out. So, all right, Luxana, I'm just going to ask, how's our Haggis crew? Are they ready to get back at it? All right, perfect. Let's head back to Brian and Eric for a Shaw TV Haggis update.
Thanks, Matt. We're again here with Eric McLean. Eric, you've got an event coming up as well for Robbie Burns Day.
Friday, January 24th and Saturday, January 25th, which is Robert Burns' birthday. We're doing a haggis lunch in the store. We'll have the haggis lunch served much as I'll show you in a few minutes when it's done, along with some Scottish soups and a nice bread pudding dessert as well. So it's reservations only, limited seating, but it was a sellout last year, so we're looking forward to that.
You still have some spaces right now?
Yep, Friday's filling up quite well, but I mean, we haven't even advertised it yet. And we'll have bagpiper on hand, Bill Poppy, as always, just to make some noise. It's always good to have some noise. And we'll have some special sauce, which is code for whiskey.
I didn't hear that. Okay.
No, I didn't hear that. Of course
not.
Yeah.
Now, the contacts, we certainly have your website, at, and you can email Eric McLean, who is the Big Cheese.
The Big Cheese at McLeansFoods.com.
Okay.
Even Facebook, I hear that microwave sounding that.
Okay.
It's terrible to say that we're microwaving it, but here we go.
So, now, this is as per the book. We are having haggis plated with mashed potatoes, turnips, and gravy.
Yes.
Now
I'm just
let's bring it out and let's move this to the side a bit.
Just put some of this.
You brought out your best silverware?
I did, yes. Well, it's your best silverware.
Our best silverware. We'll get Matt over to help us sample this too.
Okay, so here we are. We have.
Nice. At least you have a plaid shirt on, right?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. I got the kilt on.
One of those.
Oh yeah, right. Sorry. Yeah.
We have the haggis, the neeps, and the tatties, and the gravy to go with it. Now, some people, in fact, most people, when they get some whiskey, they like to douse it over it as well. You know, it's better to taste it first. Now, I'll be the first guinea pig if you don't mind, because it needs to be quite hot, and I'm just hoping it is hot enough. Not quite hot enough, but it's okay.
Okay.
After you, insist.
Okay.
Insist. The one without the kilt should go last, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. Have to have the gravy with it.
You could do it with it being a bit hotter, but the flavor's great.
I love the spice in haggis.
Good enough.
Oh, I'm doing a combo. There we go. All right.
Now, what we do is we prepare a meal. We call it the haggis tower, and it's got the haggis, neeps, and tatties. And basically, you can microwave this for 5 minutes, or you can bake it. And then you just, once it's done, you simply invert it on a plate, and that's it ready to go.
Nice.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Already plated?
Yeah. If you microwave it, that's fine. If you don't want to, you can just go like that. Stick it in the oven for 10-15 minutes, covered in tin foil, and you put your gravy around the edge.
Sure.
Brilliant.
Sorry. What's that over there?
You wanted to sneak another taste, didn't
I did, yeah. I didn't,
They'll be lining up for a taste, don't worry.
I'll just, yeah, perfect.
Have to have our veggies with it.
Yes.
Oh, man.
So what do you think?
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
As I said, I've had haggis pakora in an Indian restaurant in Glasgow. With haggis wontons. I've had it done in a little disc in tempura batter and a drambuie cream sauce.
Nice.
I'm telling you, it's great.
I must admit, there was actually, I don't know if, on Shaw TV right here, there was an episode on where they had some haggis wontons in it.
Yeah.
And they tried, and they said they were excellent, really good.
great.
So it's versatile as well.
Most of the haggis that we get is made by butchers. It's not made by huge companies. So there's no GMOs, there's no MSG, there's no preservatives. It's an actual bona fide butcher, so it's good quality product. It just, if you like organ meat, you know, liver and stuff like that, it's fine. If you don't, well, tough.
Yeah, I know, it still tastes pretty good to me.
Yeah.
Let us all recognize Robbie Burns.
There's lettuce too?
And, yeah, lettuce.
No, it's a Scottish dish. They don't eat lettuce.
It's January 24th and 25th,
Yeah.
the luncheon at your shop, McLean's Foods. 3
seatings, 11:30, 12:30, and 1:30.
Wonderful. Get your chance to sample some haggis from an authentic source. And don't forget to do that. Thank you again to Eric for coming out.
Thank you.
And the contacts are listed on the screen.
Perfect. Yeah, always great to have always the food segment stuff like that really popular here on the show. So again, thank you so much.
Thanks very much, Matt.
Oh,
thank you.
I also I did hear as well actually that Scotland makes the best fish and chips, because I was actually reading online somewhere that basically talking about fish, and I think someone said if it's not Scottish, it's carp.
Well, that's true.
So exactly.
Good one. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Sorry. Well, once the haggis is finished, dinner will be Dundee. Oh, and Dundee. Yes, exactly. Well, actually, you know, I'm gonna not go with all the whole hog with the puns here this time. I do want to tell you though about the story I heard on the news. Have you heard the news? There's these farmers up in Scotland actually, and what they're raising see-through cattle. These are animals you can actually see through. They're transparent. And what they're doing is they're also mounting a campaign to destroy all the traditional farms and ranches and that sort of stuff. And what they're doing is they're driving by and throwing animal carcasses all over these other farms, which just brings to light, of course, the old saying that those who live with Glasgows shouldn't throw bones. Glasgows shouldn't throw bones. Before Eric hits me in the back of the head, I'm going to go this way. I probably should have gone in Hibernian this winter, you know, but I think the Rangers might find me if I do that. So anyways, let's get back to the end of the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can find photos and videos of the show here on our Facebook page, facebook.com/theshowonshaw, as well as check out our Shaw TV Central Vancouver Island YouTube page. Lots of clips there as well. If you do have any great story ideas for us, if you want to get in on the haggis or you want to be featured on the show, send some comments to our producer, Melissa Hall. Her email is melissa.hall@sjrb.ca. Glad to hear from you. Also, we're always looking for volunteers, so if you're interested in being part of our crew, send her a note as well. All right, we're going to send it off one more song from Mr. Mike Bausch over there entitled, Hey, Somebody, and you are definitely a somebody for watching the show right here on Shaw TV.
Excuse me, miss, I don't want to be wrong, but you never got your feeling right for this song, and you have never been so free, yeah. And all the times you lie around, you looking up tonight, you see, you have never been so free. And I said, hey, somebody, what you doing? Come on back, I know you're feeling down, but I gotta leave you right there to, somebody, what's the story? Is your belly full? Are you feeling fine? But I gotta leave you right there tonight, yeah. But I gotta leave you right there tonight, girl. Oh, tonight. But I gotta leave you right there tonight, yeah. Excuse me, mister, don't want to be wrong, but you never got your feeling right for the song, and you have never been with me, yeah. And all the times you lie around, you looking up tonight, you see, you have never been so free. And I said, hey, somebody, what you doing? Come on back, I know you're feeling down, but I gotta leave you right there to, hey, somebody, what's the story? Is your belly full? Are you feeling fine? But I gotta leave you right there tonight. But I gotta leave you right there tonight, girl. Oh, tonight. But I gotta leave you right there tonight. And I said, hey, somebody, what you doing? Coming back, I know you're feeling down, but I gotta leave you right there tonight. Hey, somebody, what's the story? Is your belly full? Are you feeling fine? But I gotta leave you right there tonight. Hey, somebody, what you doing? Coming back, I know you're feeling down, but I gotta leave you right there tonight. Hey, somebody, what's the story? Is your belly full? Are you feeling fine? But I gotta leave you right there tonight. But I gotta leave you right there tonight, girl. Oh, tonight. But I gotta leave you right there tonight. And I said, hey, somebody, what you doing? Coming back, I know you're feeling down, but I gotta leave you right there tonight. Hey, somebody, what's the story? Is your belly full? Are you feeling fine? But I gotta leave you right there tonight. But I gotta leave you right there tonight, girl. Oh, tonight. But I gotta leave you right there tonight.